This is your WWE news. I did mention about Tommy Robinson in a few videos back briefly regarding his documentary and his so-called journalistic civil battle against the status quo regarding the mass segregation out of control of individuals who are mainly male, of military draft age, and there are stories just about every day, these so-called asylum seekers putting 5-star hotels next to primary and secondary schools, individuals following these kids and young teenagers around, and even people who are working inside these so-called establishments for these scumbags. There have been a few cases they've been murdered or violently attacked. Then after, you got the mainstream press. Obviously, it's the sidekick of the system, which tells them they have to push a narrative, labelling people of concern as far-right extremists. What bullshit is that, mate? They are concerned for the safety of themselves and the other average citizen in the United Kingdom. And what about the veterans? And what about the elderly? They should come first, not these so-called economical migrants. That's what they are. Because before they came over in that, the Rabadines from Calais to Dover, they've thrown away their documents, passport, ID, in the sea. And all the business of smugglers preparing these so-called boat trips to United Kingdom, the most busiest sea lane in the world, the English Channel. I find it absolutely disgusting, this situation. And if anyone says a thing like this, like I'm saying now, will be considered as an extremist right-winger. Well, what the fuck are you talking about? Because when you open your mouth, even your arsehole opens. And from both ends you open, it comes out shit. It's absolute shit. Whatever happened to legal controlled immigration? 26 years ago, they decided to open the floodgates. And you can say thank you to Tony Blair and his cronies when they were in power. Was it 2003 or 4? There was a secret document how they're going to sell this shit to the British public, and how the press should have behaved dealing with these type of issues. These people bring poverty. They bring crime. Create ghettos. Enoch Powell said it from all along. He wasn't racist or far right. He was a liberal, believe it or not. Like when most politicians at that time, when this phenomenon started, They didn't give a shit about the people in their constituency. But he did. And when he started looking into these things, he was horrified. Half the things fellow people in his constituency, I think Wolverhampton he was at that time. There's a story of a lady, probably elderly lady in her years at that time. She was telling him the kids of these so-called immigrants, they were chasing her down the street, calling her names. And even she told this group of people were shoving shit through her letterbox. That was the beginning. That was probably nothing. What is the extent of this so-called thing out of control? Mass immigration out of control. It's not a question to be racist. It's a question to be sensible and use logical thinking. It's clear most of these people are not civilized. They are savages. And they haven't got the foggiest idea of their language or culture in a place where they host. And then selling with that bullshit, they are refugees. They have at least passed through 2 to 3 European countries of the EC, and the last one was France. And France send them over. Another burden, send it to another country, be another man's burden, as they say. And the documentary which Tommy Robinson was talking about, it was about this so-called son of a Syrian refugee, which turns out to be a very unsavoury character. Him and his sister attending school. I don't remember where it took place. It was in the Midlands at that time. And people were told to shut up by the local council, by the police, about this, because that started off with the grooming gangs, and that's been going on for years, because they were scared to be labelled racist or whatever chicken shit term they'd rather use. What they were really scared of was losing their seat of power. Your seat of power you can be earned resolving the problems of your punters in your constituency in the story, making it a bit more better, instead of it as most of these people ignored it. And this has been going on for years, not in the United Kingdom only, and in other parts of Europe as well. The results today, society is getting more violent due to these people. More they come, more they bring poverty, the more criminality they bring. Social degrade, whole 9 yards. It is a statistic. Our politicians don't want to tell you that, because we'll go back to the square one saying they want to be classed racist, otherwise I think they fear they won't be re-elected. Well, there are those people who keep on voting these scumbags as politicians, and then after they complain, oh, how come our town's a shithole? You voted these people to administrate your town. That's why it's a shithole. And obviously there are citizens that had enough. I hear it just about every day when I go to Ponderera. These politicians tend to think more about the well-being of illegals instead of their local people. And when it comes to law and order, which I find, and you probably find shocking in these towns, where there's a huge level of immigration, vandalism, micro-criminality, and so on. The coppers do not patrol those areas which are considered hotspots for crimes. No. They patrol and they bother honest citizens controlling them. While these scumbags from every corner of the third world come. They're free to do what they fucking like. No one stops them. And obviously, here in Italy, we do have our problems with baby gangs. North Africans, the Marazzas and these people. But at least here in Italy, we don't have lefties, for God's sake, in power. Conservatives, Lega Nord, Fratelli d'Italia. If you go to Rome Termini railway station, you don't just see coppers in a patrol car. You see the Italian military in armoured cars. And that could be a good deterrent towards those who think they can be Jack the Lad in Italy. Don't fuck around with us, because if we catch you, we can fuck you up for good. This is how it should be dealt, these situations. Some say it will lead to a police state and stuff like that. Maybe. It will become a police state if these individuals continue to do what like and absolutely free do what they bloody want, breaking the law and not being punished. This is a question. The coppers catch them and the magistrates set them free here in Italy. I think this is a bit like in the United Kingdom a little bit, no? Or in a third world country near you.